Welcome back to the Tracie Trendy Show, my lovelies. Another day, another dollar, and a whole lot of drama. Or shall I say, a whole lot of hot tea. Let's give a shout out to Gio Malik. He's doing his thing. He interviewed Derek's ex fiance. And boy, did she pour some tea. And she had a receipt, my loves, longer than a CVS receipt. Yes. Okay. And I checked those receipts and I didn't see any BS on them. Okay. I'm just saying. Now, so that interview is about an hour long, a little under an hour, but I'm going to give you the Cliff Notes version and a little of my little sauce added on to it because I've heard some things too. And what I heard on that interview and what I heard from my little loves, that's a lot. Okay. So. Now, Derek's ex name is her name is Nisha, Miss Nisha. Okay, so I'm gonna look at my notes because I took copious notes and I want to make sure I get to key points. So Nisha and Derek were together before Monique and Derek. So and they were planning on having a life together. They were engaged and everything. This is all before Monique came into the picture. Now, I've always said that Monique paid the cost to be the boss. And Derek is all about the transaction. He's up for the highest bidder. And the highest bidder it appeared to be Monique. But anyway, let's start back with Nisha. Nisha was trying to find love and she went on the prisoner's website, the wrong spot to look for love. And Nisha is a fine lady. And she's older than Derek, but so is Monique. But she looks good for her age. She's 41 and she looks great for her age. And for anybody younger, she looks good. Snatched waist and everything. But apparently, she didn't have the cost, nor paid the cost to be the boss. She tried. According to Nisha, she spent $17,000 of her own money giving it to Derek, not only to Derek, but to some inmates. Now, my loves, what I heard about why you would give money to other inmates is for protection. Family members have to pay for protection. So Derek is petite. How could he survive in prison? Now, speaking of that, he was arrested recently, as we know. Now, I'm just going to go by what it looks like. I'm going to have to go with Derek on this one. It seems as if that was an old charge from when he had a scuffle in prison. But I don't know why they didn't handle it in prison. They just transferred him over to the federal prison. I'm like, why don't you handle it? Why do you let him be free and taste freedom and then come back and say, hey, you got charges? So that Derek had provided the receipts that all incidents occurred while he was in jail. His attorney put out a letter. I'm not going to bore us with the letter, but he got an attorney to represent him. But you can see on this document, State of Ohio versus Derek Warner. It was the date of offense was January 31st, 2021, while he was still incarcerated. So, and then Monique chimes in saying, stop playing with my man's name. So keep my man's name out your mouth. Well, Monique, that might apply to me, Tracie Trendy, and everybody, all these other YouTube influencers, but not anybody in Ohio and the surrounding area because Derek is community peen, all right? He's community. So they can keep Derek's name in their mouths. But anyway, let's go back to Nisha. Now, Nisha was the fiance first. Everything was hunky-dory. She paid $17,000, not only to Derek, but to inmates. And I only assuming that the extra money was to keep him protected. Now, she also goes on to say that the reason she broke up with Derek was because she heard him call her another name. And that name was Monique. And she was like, what did you just say? And he tried to say, oh, Mo. And he says, oh, yeah, my mom's name is Monique. And I know a lot of Moniques. But that didn't fly with her. That didn't fly. And so she broke it up with Derek. But Derek think he can sweet talk. He think he can sweet talk. So she was serious when she said, I'm breaking up. So what she did was stop all the credit cards. Mind you, she was building a life. She's considered herself building a life with Derek. She was building his credit. Well, actually, his credit was in the 700s, so that's pretty decent. So she gave him information. She got credit cards in her name as well as his name. But in the meantime, he was using her credit card. And matter of fact, he got her social security card number somehow through all that transaction. So Derek is using his cards, the ones that she allowed him to use, and she blocked them because she figured he was playing her when he started calling herself another woman by another woman's name. All right. So then, Derek is like, he's all about his hustle. He's in here for some time. He's in there 9 years. He got these women on rotation, so he dials it over to Monique. Now, he gives Monique all of this information, all of this all of her personal information, her address, phone number, and her social security number. Monique was hounding her, threatening her, and everything, allegedly according to the fiance. And then Monique stole her identity. Yes, my love, she stole her identity and racking up credit debt. She said Monique is nothing but a scammer. She got a nickname from Monique. It's called Honique. Oh, right. Did you hear that, Honique? So anyway, Monique stole her identity, threatened her on the phone. So now Nisha has moved from that location. Nisha's mom has changed her number. Nisha has changed her number and her location. Nisha, my love, was a former police officer, but she was not a cop at the time that she met Derek. So you get your picture. So anyway, everything was hunky-dory. Nisha thought she was going to be married. She was engaged to Derek. Everything was fine until he slipped up. Then he didn't believe her until she blocked the credit cards. And then he sigged Monique on her. Monique stole her identity, opened up credit cards, and just that's how they live. And she said Monique doesn't have a job. She actually has the same address as her sister. Okay. Now I heard a love came to me and said that Monique, I don't know now. This is unverified tea, but it seems like it's true tea. But I'm just letting you know. She said Monique is renting out a room, and Monique is on SSI for being morbidly obese. I looked up on the Chicago, Illinois SSI qualification, and you can get qualified if you're morbidly obese. And we know Monique is morbidly obese, so it's a strong possibility that she's getting SSI as well. Now that's not coming from Nisha. Nisha says Monique does not have a job. Nisha says Monique is her own thing is scamming. She will take, and we know that Derek's sister talked about the PPP loans, and that was under Monique's name for almost $65,000 in PPP loans that were not paid. And we know, according to Nisha, for a fact that this woman stole her identity and used the credit cards that opened up some new credit cards and racked up some debt in her name. So we got all of that. And then she threatened Nisha too. After all of this, after stealing from her, she threatened her. So she had enough. So I guess Monique is like Derek's pit bull. She goes after anything. She is so, I can't say penalized, you know what I mean? But because she didn't really have Derek at the time, she never had experienced Derek. But anyway, Nisha, let me make sure I've been saying her name right. Yeah, Nisha says, because Nisha is a former cop, and she looked up Monique, and she also noticed that Monique has a criminal record. So Monique was arrested for battery, according to Nisha. So she's not as saintly as she claims to be. Now, regarding Derek being abusive, Nisha said that the only time she noticed he was abusive was verbally abusive. He was verbally abusive to her. Not necessarily, obviously, he didn't have much time in the free world to be physically abusive. But she said he was verbally abusive. He called her old and fat. And I don't see old and fat on her at all. Okay, so, but he did, according to Nisha, that's what he called her. So, and according to Nisha, Monique was doing all of his dirty work. She co-signed, my loves. Listen, listen, listen. She co-signed to what Elizabeth said, that she was hauling packages for Derek. Yes, that's what you heard, my love. Now, Elizabeth had always been saying that now, okay? That's what I'm saying. She said it. Now, Nisha's saying, yeah, she's hauling packages for Derek, or she had haul packages, allegedly. So, and she said the final nail, she wasn't gonna pay dust to Derek anymore once he gave all of her information to Monique. And this is some kind of problem that Elizabeth had, how she claimed that Derek had always told Monique about everything. He told Monique about his real name and all his particulars, that website that he kind of, his business website that you just can't Google and find out. So, and then so that's a lot of family history there that Monique know about. So, also, it's interesting though, my loves, that Monique and Derek were supposed to be on Tasha K. Now, I know Tasha K doesn't pay, so I don't know what they are on Tasha K's website for. But it's so far, let me see. So far, it hasn't been shown. It was supposed to be already aired, and I'm thinking they're expecting to be paid. I don't know why. I don't know. But Tasha says clearly she doesn't pay. She'll put you in a hotel and give you a meal, but she will not pay you. So I don't know. And I know Derek and Monique are looking for, get checks. And I don't blame them. They're trying to get their hustle on, as long as it's legal. That's okay. Oh, my loves, I forgot. Nisha also said not only did she give him $17,000, and some of that $17,000 went to the convicts in the prison, but also she gave him all of her stimulus checks, all of them, 3. We all got 3 of 3. Oh Lord! But she figured as though they were having a life together, building a life together, blah blah blah. I assume she's learned her lesson now, but in the end, it seems as if Monique paid the most. She paid the cost to be the boss, because Derek's out here for the highest bidder. And he's out here for foot soldiers, his ride or die, and the boss that paying it. And Monique checks all the boxes, okay? She's ride or die. She's a foot soldier, allegedly. And she paid a lot of chunk of change for him. So Monique checked all the boxes. I can't say she's winning because, she's got to keep that up. If she stopped keeping it up, I'm sure Derek will move on to someone else, because it's all about transaction, and that's it. And what's interesting? Nisha also said that his grandmother knew of her, and she was quite proud of the grandmother. I'm surprised the grandmother didn't say what happened to Nisha, but I guess that's getting a little too messy. But anyway, my loves, go check out Gio Malik's full interview to catch all the nuances. He did a great job. Nisha came with receipts, my love. So she also had pictures of when Derek was in prison and when he was growing up. So these pictures are not on the internet. Okay, so she came with legit receipts. No BS on any of it. I checked those long CVS receipts and there was no BS on it. Okay, my loves. And you know what Nisha said? Now, I don't know how true this is, but she was saying Monique was nothing but a pregnant hoe. That's why she called her Monique. So I don't know when she got pregnant, because apparently Derek was in prison the whole time. So that would have been a good follow-up question. How is she pregnant? Now, she had a kid long time ago, but that was before Derek was in the picture. And I know it's hard for her, most morbidly obese people to get pregnant. So it's possible miscarriages can occur if they do get pregnant. So I don't know. I wish that was probably followed up a little bit more. Maybe Nisha would drop down a line here and let's shoot some breeze over here. Okay, my loves, I'm going to end it right here and I'll catch you all out on the flip side.